folks, Captain Jim coming at you with another YouTube video out on the Vespa during the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. And I'll be staying away from Sturgis today, probably head up there again tomorrow, but just plan on taking the scoot out and having some fun through the twisties in the central and southern part of the hills today. It's noticeably cooler today, only about 75 degrees right now at 11:30ish, and wind is gusting above 25 miles an hour. So a good day to not be out on the interstate playing around through the fun roads in this part of the hills today. Right now I'm on Spring Creek Road. That's the road that takes us out of Hart Ranch, where we're spending most of the summer. And once I get down on this road, I'll take a turn onto Neck Yoke Road, where the road gets more interesting. The plan is to eventually make it to Iron Mountain Road. But we'll just see how the traffic is. And I made my turn off of Spring Creek Road onto Neck Yoke Road. As you can see, looking around, we're just coming into where the plains meet the Black Hills, and on the eastern slope of the Black Hills. And this road, there's some houses and that along here, but it's not heavily populated, and it really is an enjoyable, mostly undiscovered ride during the Sturgis Rally, when all the other roads are look like a kiddie car ride at Disney World. This one has very little traffic on it most of the time. I do keep my eyes peeled on this road because I've come across deer here frequently. Hopefully by this time of the day they will be shaded up and somewhat hunkered down. And even though going through the curves, changing direction a bunch, the general direction of this road is mostly south, and the wind today is from the north-northwest, so it really isn't too much effect. These curves will open up to a ridge up ahead, and we'll see how the wind's blowing up there. And riding the 2020 Vespa GTS 300 HPE today. I just so enjoy this little bike. It's fast, it's nimble, and when you're riding roads like this, the fastest speed limits around here, right there you can see 50 miles an hour. Well, this thing will do 80 to 85. So it's been said it's more fun to ride a slow bike fast than it is a fast bike slow. I just have fun riding whatever. And there's a few folks who've discovered this road. Feels weird not to be waving, but you can't do that during this 10 days to 2 weeks of the rally. Along about middle to end of next week, well, people will start waving at each other again on bikes. If you've seen any of the other videos, I posted one yesterday or the day before where we were on Main Street in Sturgis. We don't spend as much time there as we used to in the good old days. Just a lot of people. And sometimes it's fun to go there and watch what I call the crazy parade. Walk around the streets a little bit. See if there's any new t-shirts that are totally offensive. And just made the turn off of Neck Yoke Road onto South Rockerville Road. This will eventually take me to Highway 40 that leads into Keystone if you want to go right, or take a short jog off to the left and get onto more good curvy roads on Playhouse Road. .10-mile-an-hour curve here. That's what the speed sign says on it. And we're coming up on one of my favorite views in the Black Hills, besides Mount Rushmore, of course. As we come into the Black Hills National Forest here, and you come over the top of this hill, and on a nice crisp day like today, the horizon just kind of unfolds there. Really pretty. And then it leads us into a series of curves. Us. I'm riding solo today. Joan went into Rapid to do some shopping. So I got a turd in my pocket so I can say us and we. I've had a few questions about the camera rig I'm using. The camera is an Insta360 1R. It's a modular camera that allows you to switch lenses on it between 360 lenses and a 4K lens module that essentially makes it like a typical GoPro. And for the audio, I'm using an Instamic, even though the name sounds similar. No relation whatsoever with the Insta360 company that makes the camera. And I've got the I got the microphone mounted inside my helmet in the chin bar of my Nolan N70. Kind of a modular helmet. The chin bar removes, doesn't flip up. And more fun twisty curves there. You gotta like this kind of riding. It's the reason we come out to the Black Hills. One of the great aspects of using a 360 camera like the Insta is the fact that you just mount it up on the bike. It doesn't make a lot of difference where you put it. I mean, if you want to swing it down by the wheels and get a close perspective down by the wheels, you can certainly do that. But I've got mine mounted up off of a mirror stock, and so that it basically is very similar to view to what I have. I don't use a helmet mount with that camera, like a chin mount the way a lot of GoPro users do, because it would be looking through my windscreen. And this allows me to look over the windscreen. but you can shoot pretty much, press the button and let it roll, and then you decide after the fact where you want to crop, what direction you want to see. So it gives you a lot of flexibility to have different angles and views in the video without having to take your hands off the handlebars or concentrate too much on messing with the camera. Press the button and let her rip. I've slowed down here. We're going by the Black Hills Children's Home. The whole area is kind of like a school zone. And back into the twisties again. I've been pretty darn impressed with the image quality of the 360. It's a 5.7K camera, but you can't realistically expect it to do 5.7K when it's taking everything in 360. So after you've done your editing to get the field of view that you want, it pretty close to 2.7K for any particular view. And it allows you to go from extreme wide angle, nearly a fisheye, up to what they call a narrow field of view, which is still moderately wide angle. And I've turned off of South Rockerville Road, a little jaunt on Highway 40, and now I'm on South Playhouse Road. This is the road that'll connect me with Iron Mountain Road. If we're headed into Custer State Park, this is an enjoyable way to get there. But today I plan to do a little bit of Iron Mountain Road. With all of the tunnels and hairpin curves and the 360s that go around the pigtail, they tell you shouldn't take trailers and RVs on that portion of Iron Mountain Road. So if you want to get to the middle, to the south end of Iron Mountain Road, and you have an oversized vehicle, this is pretty much your only way to get there. I don't have to worry about my Vespa being oversized. Still on Playhouse Road, and give you an idea of some of the fun twisties here. The road surface on this isn't as good as Iron Mountain Road. There's a few washboard areas on this, but the suspension on the Vespa does an okay job of handling that, he says, as he gets jolted in the ass over that bump. So I get asked frequently, so Jim, you've had Harleys and Goldwings and BMWs, a bunch of other bikes. Can you really be happy riding around on a scooter and a Vespa besides? You know, I like to say that Vespa is to scooters as Harley is to motorcycles. It's a classic, and I do enjoy it a lot. Some of you are aware that I had a hip replacement about 2 years ago, and prior to that I just couldn't toss a leg over a motorcycle again. So in 2013, Joan said, well, we should buy a couple little scooters. To which I replied, why would we want to do that? So we compromised and bought a couple scooters, and they were Honda PCX 150s, and I gotta tell you, we had more fun on those than any of the riding I had been doing in the previous 10 years. I sold my last motorcycle, which was a V-Strom, and we had just the PCX for almost 5 years. And then I bought that first Vespa in 2018 and rode the heck out of that. And Joan upgraded her PCX to a Yamaha X-Max the next year. And then this last year, I traded in my 250 GTS for a 300 GTS HPE. The HPE stands for High Performance Engine. And I say that only a little tongue-in-cheek, because there is a performance difference between this and my previous GTS. And there's a lot of other things that are better about it too. The suspension is better. I kind of miss some of the features of my older GTS because it had an outside air temp gauge and a little bar graph type of tachometer. And this one, I got a speedometer, a clock, and a fuel gauge, and that's pretty much all the tech that's on this bike. It surprises me how much I miss having an outside air temp gauge, because I'm guessing right now it's probably up to about 78 degrees. We are climbing in elevation, but it's getting into the warmer part of the day. I appreciate that it was cool enough today that I could wear one of my summer armor mesh jackets. Don't ever intend on getting off hard. I've done that a couple of times, and I've got to tell you, it is not any fun at all. But it sure is nice to be wearing armor, just in case. But sometimes when it's hot, you have to be realistic. You don't want to pass out from heat exhaustion by having too many layers on. And speaking of all the gear all the time, which a lot of people do, I'm wearing riding jeans, which have armor in the knees and the hips and Kevlar pretty much throughout as a liner inside the jeans. This armored jacket, I'm wearing heavy boots that give me ankle protection, leather gloves. Alright, we just made it to the end of Playhouse Road, and now I'm turning on to Iron Mountain Road. It's not unusual for this stretch of Iron Mountain Road to not be heavy with traffic even during the rally, but by the time we get to the first tunnel, it'll start stacking up because that gets into the tighter curves and the one-lane tunnels. And I'm wearing a neck scarf that protects my old skin from the sun. Has some kind of a SPF of a zillion or something built into it, not to mention all the sunscreen I wear. And my Nolan N72 GT helmet. I've enjoyed the heck out of this helmet, although I am still shopping for an actual modular. Alright, if you look off to the right, you get to see the presidents. There's George and his buddies way off in the distance. And I can see plenty of traffic in front of us, so this will be a scenic ride, but I'm still going to enjoy the curves as much as I can. Iron Mountain Road was engineered to be a scenic drive. Something special for people who come out here to visit Mount Rushmore and then want to head on south to Custer State Park. And it's a white minivan from Washington State. Doesn't matter, it's still a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a double yellow center line, so not gonna pass them. And speed limit gets down to 25 right in here, and most people believe that. And if I pass him, there's another one not too far in front of that. Sometimes they're nice when they can see somebody riding a motorcycle or a scooter behind them, and they pull in at one of the turnouts to let the two-wheel traffic get around them, and sometimes not. And here's about done shooting pictures on Iron Mountain Road at 12:33. So then at the end of the day, or by tomorrow, you go look on their website, know the time you were here, 12:33, and you can get reasonably close and look through thousands of other pictures that they have posted. So they set out there and do everything on a speculation basis. And I have bought from them before, so, and there will be at least 2 or 3 others along this stretch of road. This is a fun set of sweeper type curves if you can actually get some speed build up. And you know, it's still pretty good even when you aren't going fast. And I'm seeing on my battery indicator on the camera that it's probably going to run out of juice before I run out of Iron Mountain Road. And I didn't bring a spare battery with me today, so it is what it is. Oh, there they go. That's very nice. And you can see you get into the conga line with motorcycles. Pretty typical for traffic to be heavier going the opposite direction from what I'm going today, because that would be coming from Mount Rushmore to Iron Mountain Road. Oh, nice curve. I do tend to ride in the left tire track, but I swing a little wide during this 2-week period where the rally's going on. Of course, it isn't just motorcycles you have to be concerned about. I frequently see cars well over the center line coming at me. Nice lean angle on that Vespa. And we're catching up with the next SUV in front of us. And watching all the other bikes go by. We used to belong to the Harley Owners Group during the several decades that we rode Harleys. And every year there would be a top 10 riding roads in the country in their monthly magazine, and they would always have the Black Hills as one of the top 10 riding areas. Alright, we're going through one of the tunnels. Opening up my face shield so it might get a little noisier. Get a little fresh air going through while I'm going that slow. And view straight ahead. Cut out through the trees is Mount Rushmore. No idea how muffled the motorcycle sounds were while I had my face shield closed. Nice views over my shoulder there, looking off into the hills. And yeah, that's a Minnesota car in front of us. I say that also with a little tongue-in-cheek, as when we used to work and spearfish, and if I was doing any location shooting during the summertime, all of the slow-moving Turon traffic had Minnesota plates, and I get that. It's a nice one-day drive from a lot of Minnesota to the Black Hills. And if I lived in Minnesota, I'd sure want to be coming to the Black Hills too. Another 10-mile-an-hour curve. Guarantee you that Yukon in front of me isn't having as much fun on these curves as I am. And getting into the fun part of Iron Mountain Road, I slowed way down back there for a while to let the Minnesota car get a ways in front of me. Oh man, obviously not far enough in front of me. And with this being the Thursday of rally week, this is probably as busy or busier than the weekend riding days, because there will be people who leave midweek because they got to get home, get back to their jobs by Monday, being replaced by people who had to work through the weekend and now they're just getting here. I always consider Thursday and Friday to be the crazy days at the rally, because, well, I've been here all week long and haven't done anything crazy that I can go back home and talk about, so hold my beer and watch this. And coming up on a split here. This is another fun feature of this design on Iron Mountain Road. As you can see off to the left there, separate lane of traffic coming the other direction, and we have our own individual lane here. Kind of removes the threat of somebody coming at you wide around a corner or anything. And I think more than a few bikers have taken this to be just kind of a fun little area to kind of stretch it out a little bit there in the curves and see how the bike will do. Another great view off to the left. Nice cliffs on the right. Black Hills truly is a beautiful area. More fun twisties, and then another single lane tunnel coming up ahead. We've been going down in elevation for a while, so we're probably down around the 4,000 foot range right now. So you can feel the temp rise as you descend. Alright, it's a scary tunnel, so we got somebody directing traffic here, so I'll sign off for a bit, see if I can save a little battery. That was a self-appointed traffic cop. No, not a member of any police force. Some guy took it on himself to stop traffic one direction or the other. Usually people play pretty nice. And coming up on the first of the pigtails from this direction, more than a 360-degree turn. You can see that above us right there. We're passing under the road that we were just on a few seconds ago. And coming up on the second of the splits. I'm going to slow down, let these guys get in front of me a ways, so that the Vespa and I can have a little fun on these. Well, that didn't take too long to catch up with them. I think the speed limit in there is 25. I might have been going 27 at the most. And back into traffic coming at us again. And coming up on another one-lane tunnel. Lots and lots of bikes. This is where I anticipate traffic to be heavier. Everyone wants to stop and get off their bikes and go take a picture of Mount Rushmore through the tunnel. Well, including the Minnesota guy in the Yukon in front of us. Okay, so there's bikers that think it's a two-lane tunnel. Surprise! Yeah, turns it into a shit show. I am intimidated by your pretty sound. Yeah, that shit goes on during the rally too. And another view of Mount Rushmore. Don't care how big your motorcycle is. There's a pickup truck and a Yukon in front of me. And you do not want to be taking them on in a tunnel. Alright, coming up on the next hairpin curve, followed by another one of the pigtails. As you can see, that Minnesota Yukon in front of me was choosing to go off the right side of the road with his tires rather than cross over the center line. That's kind of a smart decision this time of year. Or you could just keep it between the lines. That's kind of a fun thing too. And coming up on another photo booth. She was sitting in an easy chair with her feet up. She got a break there, waiting for the pickup and the GMC to go by. And that one is at 12:49. And another one over here, me and my ride. I didn't catch the name on the last one. Maybe I'll see it on the video. Well, probably gonna call it a wrap here. There's more of Iron Mountain Road to go, but my battery is flashing on red, so I'm gonna run out of juice. I'll just say thanks for riding along. Hope you enjoyed the video today. This is day 7 of the Sturgis Rally, and we are in the Southern Hills on Iron Mountain Road. Have a safe ride if you're riding out there, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.